What happens when a group of Star Wars fans go on a road trip so they can steal the Phantom Menace for their really sick friend?
You get a movie where you get to see Jason Mewes suck off Kinky Kelly in a bathroom.
Right now, next on Trees in Space. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trees in Space, the show where we watch all movies in any genre, and we tell you what the fans thought, what the critics thought, and what we think. Is it worthy of a forest or just a small stump to sit on? This week, in case you missed a thumbnail, we watched the 2009 comedy Fanboys starring Eric Huntington and Chris Marquette. I'm Jason, even though it doesn't look like it, and that's Nate. How you doing, Nate?
Hey everybody, it's wonderful to see you. It's been a minute. It's wonderful to be talking to you there at folks at home. It is Jason picked a wonderful movie this week, filled with hordes of cameos.
A lot of
And
cameos, and how many of them were really stars at this point? I mean, I knew Kevin Smith was, but
well, I
you
mean,
know,
Carrie Fisher, Bill Shatner. Uh,
okay, well, them, yes. I'm talking about the younger ones that are bigger names now, like Seth Rogen, two different characters.
um, oh my
Uh,
God, what's his name? He's in Rachel
McBride,
Jim Show. Danny McBride. Yeah.
Bride. That was good. He's not even credited in the credits, but let's tell everyone what this movie's about, even though I kind of did a little bit. To honor the wishes of their dying friend, some diehard Star Wars fans sell out on a cross-country road trip to George Lucas's famous Skywalker Ranch, where they intend to treat their friend to a screening of the movie because it has not got released yet. That's basically it. And well, I forgot. I saw this movie like when it came out, 20 years ago.
I've seen
Uh,
the movie quite a bit,
oh,
like
okay.
in the last like 5 years.
Well, I did. I forgot it was because the guy was dying. That was kind of like an afterthought.
Me too. Um, what's interesting about this movie is I've seen this movie a bunch. It's one of my more favorite movies, actually. Um, but can I can come into it completely unremembranced of the
Hmm.
last time I watched it. Like I forgot that Dak Shepard's wife, um,
Yeah,
Kristen
Kristen.
Bell. I forgot Kristen Bell was in this movie.
Forgot she. Another thing, she was probably. I'm sure she was a star, but was she who she is now? I don't think she was anything close to how she is now. She might have been.
Yeah, and she totally moons a dude.
I don't think that was her ass.
You don't
I
think
want
that
to
was
say
her
that
butt?
was no. I paused it. I didn't pause on the dude's ass when he did it, but I did on hers. I'm like, hey, I don't think that's her ass.
It could have been.
The world may never know. I'm
Hmm.
sure we could Google it and find out. Yeah, but when you said Bill Shatner, you said Bill Shatner like you know the man. Because he was in
Here,
this William
quite for
Shatner.
we're past formalities.
Yeah. It was just a cross country. It's a typical road trip, very similar to
Yep,
like Euro trip or any other kind of trip you have.
yep.
Um,
It's a fun little movie. I like the when Hutch gets pissed off when they call it a garage and he calls it a carriage house. I think
I
that's
love that.
hilarious. And I don't know, maybe Ohio's different, but since when can you drive a car in the 10th grade?
Uh, are they in the 10th grade?
He goes, "You've had the same car since the 10th grade."
Oh, I'm gonna assume that he just like failed a couple times because he wasn't the smartest person.
Perhaps.
He might, there were so many just I don't know. It's nostalgia for fans.
It is. This is the ultimate fan service film. Even for me, there's a Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes cameo. Uh, and I totally forgot about the Kinky Kelly from Clerks 2, which you will see on this show. Probably came out before this episode. I don't know. Um,
Or after
you'll
we
see it,
do weird things here. Yeah.
but I
And if it
didn't
is already
throw.
out, it's gonna be right here. Click on this link. It'll be right here.
But we're also forgetting the fact that they hate Star Wars or Star Trek, the Trekkies, and Hutch especially. You get an awesome introduction to them into the comic book store. Couple dudes come
Hmm.
in wanting a phaser.
What'll it be, fellas? How much for the phaser gun?
For the phaser gun? Sorry, Garfunkel. We don't hawk Trek here.
Well then, Slim, if you don't sell the Trek, then why do you have a phaser gun in the case?
We keep this one here to suss out Trekkie bitches like yourselves and tell them to get the hell off of our land. So get the hell off of our land. Get the...
And then he goes across the country, supposed to be going to Texas, goes to Iowa instead,
Mhm.
because that's where Captain Kirk was born,
Yep.
the fictional character, and there's these Trekkies there. And the Trekkie's like, that's offensive. We're called Trekkers now. That was, so calling them Trekkies is a racial slur. Calling them Trekkies instead of
Uh,
Trekkers.
Trekkers sounds like checkers to me, like a board game.
It does, it does. And then he called Han Solo a piece of crap or something.
Called them a bitch.
A bitch, that's right. And
Han
then they
Solo's
get
a
in a
bitch,
fight.
and they get in a fight, and then they call back it later
Mm-hmm.
as Hutch and Windows get tied up with a couple of escorts, and their pimp is Seth Rogen, who is also
Mm-hmm.
the head of the Trekkie convention squad.
Admiral Chinquonk, or whatever his name was.
Uh, and they end up getting into a tussle because the boy said because the Trekkie Rogan called Solo a bitch to the Wars Rogan, and Wars Rogan attacked Trekkie Rogan, and that must have been fun to do. And
Yeah, he did a really good job on both those characters. Seth Rogen did, I thought. I'm not a big fan of him on most things he does, but him in certain areas, certain roles for limited amount, he was great in it. Uh, the first time I watched this movie, I'll tell you, I saw William Shatner pop out, and it's one of the best things I ever heard. Because I mean, they acted really good. The two young men who saw him, like, because
yeah,
and they're not Star Trek fans, they're Star Wars fans, but it's William Shatner. You
yeah,
still gotta go.
you pay respect where respect is due.
Exactly. And then he
I
goes,
did
"How
anything.
did you get all this stuff?" And he goes, "Are you kidding me? I'm William Shatner. I can score anything." It's like,
How did you score all this stuff?
Are you kidding? I'm William Shatner. I can score anything.
okay, that's fair. Um, and then they Billy D. Williams is in this as Judge Reinhold.
Yep.
I thought that was great because there's an actor named Judge Reinhold. In case
Mhm.
y'all didn't know, he's relatively he was pretty famous in the 80s and 90s.
Beverly Hills Cop.
He was. He was. He was also the stepfather in Santa Claus.
He
But I
was
think
also the voice actor of himself in Clerks, the animated series.
he was also in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. It was his
He
daydream.
wasn't he also in Pandemonium?
He was also in Pandemonium. You mentioned Carrie Fisher was in this. She was the doctor because for some reason he falls out the van, so they have to take him to the hospital, which is fine. He fell out the van, but he didn't go to the hospital because he fell out the van. He went to the hospital because his cancer suddenly like got him really sick all of a sudden.
Well, I
It
think
was,
they
it
brought
was
him to the hospital because he fell out of the van. And then
mhm,
while he was there, the doctor was like, no, he's really sick. He needs to go home because he's going to die soon.
yeah.
And then they
And that
took
you're
him
like,
out. But he gets to kiss Carrie Fisher. Not many people get to say that anymore,
no. Well, you
right?
can't see it at all. She's passed away now. So
Yeah.
um
I mean, if somebody
uh,
said they just kissed Carrie Fisher, that'd be kind of creepy.
she died 6 years ago, people. Um But she was there and he kisses her like, I love you. She goes, I know you do, or something like
Yeah,
that.
she's just, I know. I was like, oh my gosh, he's
Yep. It's just,
He said it.
I know. I was
Then-
like,
Hutch always trying to use the Jedi mind trick, and
especially on Kristen Bell. Kristen
yeah,
Bell.
and he goes, "What about me? I like sweater yams."
Yeah, yeah. Like, what about me? Because she ended up being in love with Windows.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, Ethan
I
Suplee's in this movie.
is that who Windows is?
No, that's the dude that beats up Windows in the crew.
Oh, I love him. Yeah, because he was in Remember the Titans.
Without a paddle.
They go through this whole thing and they get to Skywalker Ranch
Mm-hmm.
and they break in and they go into the Holy of Holies, which is where the Darth Vader suit is, and all the other Lucas Lucas film stuff is.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, Willow, don't know any other movies he made.
Star Wars,
Star Wars, yes.
Phantom Menace, Empire Strikes Back. Then you just start naming
All the Star Wars movies.
Temple of Doom, Crystal. Yeah,
But they get a,
Back to the Future, I think.
and then well, let's see, I guess Lucas had a little bit to do with that, but
I think. I don't know. I was just throwing.
but if you had a chance to go into that room,
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, not just like, okay, of course I would because it's what it is, but would you? I mean, like if someone said, hey, if you can get out here, you're
If
gonna do is fly yourself.
if
You can
I
do
could
it.
have the hands-on experience like they did, yeah. I want to put on Indy's hat.
His actual hat, yes,
Yeah. I want to touch
yes.
Darth Vader's lightsaber.
I want to touch R2D2.
Yeah, you're my only hope.
You're my
Like I
hope.
loved it. Like she get down just like Princess Leia, or Slave Leia. Oh my God!
Was she dressed up like Slave Leia at the end?
Yep.
So they get caught, and George Lucas is in this movie, but he's on the phone with George Lucas, and he goes, "Okay, I've been told that the way I feel right now,
Yeah. Oh,
the
I'm
cry,
told that I have a difference of opinion.
yeah, I have a different opinion than I had earlier because I love that whole. I've been told I have a difference.
I've just been told that what I said earlier, I no longer believe. Mr. Lucas is touched and mildly flattered by what you have done here, and I have been informed that I feel the same way. So the charges are...
Let's watch it. And then they fast forward to the release of Phantom Menace.
Well,
And
there's that campfire scene. I sent you a
But they
picture
get stoned. Oh, with Angel.
where, yeah, it's like, all right, I'm gonna go save him, and you're like, you coming? He goes, nah, I'm good. And they just start panning in. My eyes started tearing up. I was getting ready to just start dropping tear buckets, man.
Should we move on to the 5-star, 1-star reviews?
Let's.
The first 5-star review comes from Mike S. Love the movie. You do not have to be a fan to enjoy this movie. But if you are a Star Wars or Star Trek fan, you will go nuts watching it. Cheering out loud at certain parts. Amazing fun movie.
It's an easily digestible 89 minutes.
Yes, it is.
The first 1-star less comes from Unknown. Not so funny, yet the idea of diehard fans prevails.
Okay. No notes. The next 5-star review comes from Jimmy R. Now, I probably have to put on my Star Wars glasses, but this was a fun movie to watch. Where the main characters meet the Star Trek nerds was probably the best part. That and when Ray Park was a security guard at Skywalker Ranch was fun to see. It's a good movie for any Star Wars fan. Oh, Ray Park played that's who it was. I know he looked familiar. Darth Maul.
Oh.
When he did the two things in that thing, that's Ray Park. That's Darth Maul. That is so meta. So meta.
Well, that's
Because
That's
when he spin like that, and Widow's like, "No, I'm good." That's what I've done. Like, no, I'm good.
the second 1 star or less comes from unknown. Couple pretty funny bits, otherwise pretty dumb.
It's supposed to be that way. I mean,
It's a goofy movie. It's a fan service film. It's what it
it's
is.
a comedy. It's a buddy road trip comedy. What else is it supposed to be? It's it's not easy to pull those off. People do them all the time. Movies, I mean, theaters do them all the time, or whatever. And not many are that good. So,
No,
yes,
I can
okay.
think of maybe 2 other good ones. Maybe 3.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd count trains, automobiles.
That's the one. That was 3rd. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Euro Trip, and this one.
There's another trip one too that they go through the United States. Something trip. Anyways. The last 5-star review comes from the most popular reviewer, Unknown. A funny story that touches on many Star Wars fanboy stereotypes and our continual war with the dirty, dirty Trekkies. This movie doesn't take itself seriously, and I feel many critics have done for its tomato score to be so low. Trekkies, no doubt. It's a movie by geek for geeks, not Trekkie nerds.
Hey, remarks complete. The last 1 star or less comes from super reviewer Brendan N. Interesting concept, but overall the film doesn't really treat the viewer with any respect. Full of unfunny setups and cameos that don't offer anything. I really thought this would be a fun film to watch, but for the most part, this is only barely watchable.
Okay, maybe I don't understand the point of a cameo. The point of a cameo is not to offer anything except the cameo.
Yeah, it's a fan service.
Yeah.
They got Billy D. Williams to be in this fucking movie.
Yes, the Billy D. Williams is like, here you go. They had like 2 lines each, and that was it. They don't have to bring anything, but they were needed for the story to go forward.
Right.
They needed characters, so they got them.
D. Williams is smooth as velvet, man.
And Billy D.
Oh,
dude.
And he gave me this note. Yes.
Yeah,
God damn, man. Oh, it's such a good cameo.
It was, and it was they needed a judge, they needed the character. He said he'd do it. They paid him whatever they paid him, or they didn't. But it's a Star Wars cameo. All it has to do is the cameo. The William Shatner cameo, yeah, make little sense. Whatever. It's William Shatner. It's not a Star Trek thing, but they did enough of both where it made sense. I was surprised I didn't see bones.
And they even came back to it too. Like, did you get this from Shatner? No.
Yeah, I think super reviewer. I think me and Nate both disagree with your review of this movie because you don't understand.
I agree.
So, the WTF is the unknown. Also, it's 4 stars. It says, "I love this movie. Screw you, you Trekkie bitches." Well, let's go on to the Rotten Tomatoes score. Let's find out what Rotten Tomatoes and the audience scored this movie. The people at Rotten Tomatoes said that this movie is only worth 33%, a third of every other movie, 1/3.
Ooh, Rotten Tomatoes.
The audience, which is you, says that this is at least double that, almost double that, 57%. Not in the 60s or the 70s.
That's amazing because legitimately, I had a tough time finding anything 1 star or less. I would have thought that was much higher rated amongst the audience.
I didn't have much problem finding a 5-star. I saw a lot of 3s and 4s or 3.5s. I saw 3, so
I thought a lot of 4 and 5s, some 1.5s. But yeah, wow. I mean, that's what it is.
What it is. So let's move on to Tending the Garden. Okay, would I recommend this to my surgeon? Yes, because my surgeon is a Star Wars fan. He actually has a Yoda tattooed on his arm. I'm going to assume my surgeon actually seen this movie. I thought the acting was fine. No one was like overacting. No one was underacting. They weren't overdoing it. The writing was perfectly done. It flowed wonderfully. It was just long enough where it wasn't too long. The slow parts weren't too slow. They interacted it with some jokes. They got a little heavy-handed on the cancer thing, like one time when it just kind of didn't seem like it fit to me. At the very end where he said, I'm good where I am, you're right. That was emotional. Because I was like, damn, he's lived his best life. As short as it was. Cameos galore. And two boobies. So with the two two booties. That gets it.
Yes, the
booties. That still gets a bump for both of them together. They get a stump bump. So with the stump bump, I'm giving this 3 trees, 1 stump.
Now it's my turn.
Hey, that's fair. I don't think I'd recommend this movie to my surgeon. I don't know him so well like that. I feel like this is a very particular cult-ish type of film. I feel like a lot of people aren't even going to be able to find this film because it is a very, very, very obscure movie. But it's a great movie nonetheless. The cameos are always wonderful. Again, I forgot and loved that Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes were in this. That's like a stump bump for me right there. Like, butts aside. But I wasn't sure if I was going to classify the butts. If it's Kristen Bell's butt, then absolutely you get the stump bump. I'm going to believe that it is. The timing of this movie is perfect. 89 minutes. It plays like a Kevin Smith film, which again, I don't know if he was a producer of some sort in it or he provided some sort of whatever, but it just, it was a point A, point B, like it was good. It just flowed well. It was great. With the bump, I rated it in our system as a 3 trees, but with the bump, it's a 3 tree and a stump movie for me as well.
Well, you all heard it here. Nate and I have agreed once again. You don't even know how many times we did not agree the first year of the show. I don't think we agreed maybe one time. And we've agreed a lot more in the last, 2 months, 2.5 months. Maybe it's because I'm being a little more nicer. Anyways, but tell us what you think. Put a comment down here. Like, subscribe. What else besides like, subscribe,
Turn on those
follow?
notifications so that way you know every time the next episode comes out.
Yeah, that too. And one day I'm going to be able to learn this all by myself. One day. Don't know if it's ever going to happen, But do what my friend, my best friend, my bestie, my life partner said. Put a notification there. And we will see you next Monday on Trees in Space.
What?